Tobias, it just seemed like right from the jump, you guys didn't have a ton of energy early to match them. What do you think? What do you think caused them to be able to jump on you guys from the jump like that?
I mean, you hit it on the head right there. Like, our energy wasn't there from the start of the game. I thought that obviously they made a bunch of plays that we really weren't able to kind of go back at. And then, just from the start of it, it kind of deflated us, and we never were able to get right back into it. And then to get that type of rhythm that we wanted during the course of the game. So, it's disappointing. It's a tough loss. Just considering the expectation into the game and what we wanted to accomplish. But we got to get back on track now.
You put your finger on why you think you guys didn't have that energy at the start?
No, I mean, honestly, I wish I could. But it's unfortunate that was the type of start that we had to the game. But yeah, I can't pinpoint what it is, Keith.
You guys suffered a very similar loss in 2019 on the road in Toronto in Game 5. I guess, What do you remember about what was the key to bouncing back from that and forcing that Game 7 that you guys got to against them?
Just honestly, getting ourselves right to knowing what has worked for us in this series. And we gotta go back home and be ready. We have to bring that same amount of energy that they brought to this game for us. But that's a bad loss for us. We understand it, we know it, but we have to get ourselves right to be able to let that go, figure out ways to get better in 24 hours pretty much, and get ourselves ready to get a win.
James, Doc mentioned just the Heat's physicality kind of disrupting you guys offensively. Just how specifically do they use that physicality to kind of make it so you can't get to your spots on offense and run the stuff that you guys want to run?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a playoff game, and the physicality should be able to be on both ends of the ball. And I don't feel like tonight it was they were physical. We missed shots. They got off to a good start. Being down 12, in that first quarter, on the road against a really good team is difficult. We can't allow that to happen, especially Game 5, in the two games where we just, came off on our home court playing well. So it's just difficult to come back and kind of fight your way back, and we just never got our pop.
I guess you said, they were physical. Do you get the sense that y'all couldn't be as physical as they were?
No comment.
James, Doc used the words they were a lot more engaged, and he said that was on him and the players. Do you agree that you guys weren't as engaged as the Heat were tonight?
Yeah, like from the jump though. What they got? 31 points in that first quarter. I think we just were engaged defensively, and that slowed down our offense. We got to be engaged. We got to be locked in. Like in the second round of the playoffs on the road in Game 5, it's not good enough just to play hard. You got to play hard, and you got to be able to think possession by possession. And we just didn't, put enough thinking possessions together. And that was the case. No.
Tobias, you mentioned getting back to what worked for you guys. Just given this version of this team hasn't been together that long, like what are those core things that you can lean on in a difficult spot?
First is our energy on the floor. When we're physical, when we're connected as a group, that's defensively mainly. That's where we're at our best, when we're able to get the ball out in transition, run. Our energy towards that end has always been key for us. on both sides of the basketball, moving the basketball, getting to the paint, kicking out, shooting threes, getting downhill for layups is when we're at our best. So, those things all come through the course of the game. And for us today, we let them go on a little run early on in the game. And for us, I don't think that we were engaged enough mentally to kind of come out of that run and kind of fix ourselves to make a run for ourselves. So those are all things that we know we can do and we have done this year that we have to get back to in the next game.
Barry, Dave, and Gina.
They have young guys on their team like Strus and Vincent trying to make a name for themselves. James, with Gabe, the Heat's 5-0 and he's filled in for Kyle. What do you admire about his game, Vincent's game as a young guy?
He just gets after it. They just, him and Strus, play. I mean, obviously they play hard, but their shooting ability is key. They're able to, create shots and create pace on their offense. Last few games, game 3 and 4 at home, I think we did a really good job of just slowing them down. And, game 5, Strus has 19 some points. Just gets off and gets them going, and they just keep coming at you. So we got to do a really good job of knowing and finding their shooters and being as solid as possible.
James, you guys have had a lot of success this series, like in the half court, getting them moving and then attacking, whether passing off the dribble. How do you get back to that? What that wasn't necessarily there tonight? And
just get to it. I mean, but it's difficult. Like I said before, when you're playing against a set defense every possession, Like we got 19 points in that first quarter. We didn't get any stops. And that's the start of the game. That's going to, carry over throughout the course of 2, 3, 4 in the fourth quarter. And we didn't do that, So it's difficult to play against a half court defense possession by possession, especially, on the road. We get stops now instead of playing against a half court defense every possession, maybe every once in a while, So I feel like that was key for tonight.
Tobias, when Joel got popped in the face at that one point in the first half, was that kind of just a reminder of everything he's trying to play through right now?
Yeah, for sure.
That's one go to Rich.
James, with the way they're guarding Joel, kind of trying to deny him the ball, do you think it's a mix of trying to get him the ball in better spots, but also maybe getting the balls to guys like Tobias, Tyrese, some of the other guys who they're maybe selling out against Joel?
You talking about me passing them the ball?
Just your whole offense at all, like your whole offense with the way they're defending Joel very aggressively.
What are you asking me?
Is it a matter of getting him the ball in better spots or other players kind of, working off the help schemes that they're going against?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we can make it easier on Joe, getting him the ball tighter to the back, closer to the basket. And then once they are double teaming or, showing their bodies from wherever position they are, we got to do a better job of making ourselves available. But then also we can't just try to force feed the ball into them. We got to be players out there and go out there and just be aggressive and attack that rim and generate, open looks. So it's a combination of both.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, y'all.